Hi, and welcome to this quick how to help video on finding the surface area of solids. Now, in this video, I've used cuboids, but you could have anything stuck to anything. You know, I could have a cuboid and a triangular prism. So each question just needs to be kind of structured and organized based on the problem that you're facing. The reason that I'm choosing this particular solid is because there's a shortcut, and quite often I see a lot of students missing that and putting in a lot more work than they need to in order to get to that answer. So we're going to talk about the shortcut in this example, and then we're going to see a second question just to demonstrate why it doesn't always work. And it's really important that we don't see this and think, oh, that's all I have to do then. It works when it works, and you've got to be able to identify that and not just assume it's going to work every time. Okay, so what I've tried to do is highlight the sides of the cuboid that you can't actually see. So the back of this cuboid, for example, is back there. I can't see it because this is all hiding it. So that yellow rectangle is the back of the shape. And you can see it's a large rectangle. I've done the base and I've done the other side. And I want to demonstrate how the kind of shortcut works. So I want you to imagine the top of this shape. And I'm just going to highlight the top of this shape so we are really clear what we're looking at. I want you to imagine that that is being crushed. So the top is being crushed to meet the bottom cuboid, and then the whole thing is being crushed all the way to the ground. As that happens, this meets and then goes all the way down together. It will fit perfectly on the base. And because it will fit perfectly on the base, it means all I actually have to do is work out the base and then double it. I don't have to work on these faces individually. So that's a great shortcut. It saves me a little bit of time. And the same thing is going to work in sort of every direction that I look at this. So that was me looking at the top being squashed to the base. Now imagine me taking the very front of this shape. So this face and this face, they're facing forwards. That's the front. Now, if I push those so that they came together and then push the whole thing back against the back wall, they're going to sit perfectly on that back rectangle. So they're going to equal each other. So I don't need to be working on these separately. I just need to find the big back rectangle and double it. The side is, I think, a little bit easier to see, even though it's it's difficult to see that in the picture. We kind of know it matches perfectly because there's no split, is there? So that's just easier for us to get our head around. Okay, let's use that shortcut and solve this surface area question. So the first thing that I'm going to look at is the base. Okay, so I know that the base is 10 and then multiply by this, which is 13. I've got that on that edge there. So 13, so let's write the base. So the base is 13 times 10, which is 130. I know the top is the same, so I can just double it. And the base and top together is 260. I'm now going to look at the back. Okay. The back is 13 times this length here. Now that length there doesn't have a number, so that is a problem I'm going to need to sort out. So I'm going to be looking at the diagram to get the numbers I need. The numbers are coming from here and here. Okay, they're both vertical lines matching this vertical. I've got 4 and 3. 4 and 3 is 7. Which means that back wall is 13 times 7, which is 91. I want the front as well, so I'll times that by 2, and I will get a total of 182. And then I'll work on the side. Now, the numbers have been quite kind. This top one's really easy to see. I've got the 2 and the 4 given to me. So that's right side. And I've got 4 times 2. And that obviously is going to do that little bit there for me. I now need to do this part. So I've got 10 times this section here, which is 3. So we've got 4 times 2, which we're going to add to 10 times 3. That is 8 plus 30, which is 38. And of course, the second side means double it, and we've got ourselves 76. So our total surface area is 260 plus 182 plus 76, which is 518 centimeters squared. All right, so when that shortcut's available, make use of it. It saves a lot of time. And of course, the less workings out you have to do, the less opportunity for an error to happen. It's very easy, isn't it, to just time something wrong and then boom, it's throwing everything out. All right, let's look at this question where it isn't going to work. So I'm going to use it wherever I can, but I've got to be aware that it's not necessarily doing everything for me. So let's have a look and see where we can use it. I can clearly see that the front of this shape matches the back. And that's probably where most of my work is. So I'm going to do that first and get that out of the way. So looking at the cuboid, I can see that this one, the first one here, that one is going to be 13 times 20. So I've got the front, which is going to be 13 times 20. But that's not all it is. I'm also going to need to add to this. I can see, looking at this top cuboid, that I've got a 3 and a 14. So this face here, I'm going to actually write it on the face itself. That is 3 times 14, and that is 3 times 14. So I've got 2 lots of those. So I'm also going to be adding, I'm just going to bring this down because I think it's going to just disappear under the camera. I'm going to be adding 3 times 14, and I've got 2 of them. Okay, so that's going to give me 260 plus 84, which is going to give me a total of 344. That's the front. I obviously know that the back is going to be the same. So the back is going to give me another 344. I think I'm going to write it like that. Okay. That's the front done. The front and the back are sorted. Now, if I look at the side of this shape, I can use the shortcut. I can see that there and that there and that there, if they came together and then got squashed all the way to the back wall, they're all going to sit on each other. So that's perfect. So I'm going to make the most of that. So this part here, I can see is 3 times 20. So I've got 3 times 20, which of course I'm going to double because I want the front as well. Well, they're kind of, I'm calling them back because I'm kind of thinking about it as a back wall now, but really they're the sides, aren't they? So I think I might relabel that so we don't get too confused. Okay, so the sides are going to give me a total of 60 times 2, 120. And now I've got the top and the bottom. Okay, the top is here. I'm going to use a bit of highlighter, I think. This here, which is 13 times 3. So here's the top, 13 times 3. But I've also need this bit here, which is 14 times 3. Okay. So that is 39. and 14 times 3 is 42. And then, of course, I'm going to be doubling that. So I'll add those together. So 39 plus 42 is 81, times that by 2, and I've got my base as well. So I've got a total of 162 going on there. Now, what I haven't found, so I've found the top, the bottom, the sides, and the front, and the back. But you can clearly see that this here has not been found. And there's another one underneath that I can't see. All right, so they are the ones I need to identify. So colouring in as you go is quite a good idea. And I can see 2 faces are still not accounted for. So I'm going to need to do those as well. So I've got my extras, if you like, of 14 times 3. I've got that twice, okay, which is going to give me 84. And then the total surface area is all of that added together. So total surface area is 344 plus 344 plus 120 plus 162 plus that 84. And we're going to quickly put that into the calculator. 344. Which is giving me a grand total of 1,054 centimeters squared. It's a massive amount of work. When I said use the diagram, that's something that I couldn't stress enough. Sometimes I don't think we are aware that we can mark and use the diagrams, but you can. They are there for you to write all over if it helps. So make sure you break that problem up, but make sure that you do something that helps you remember what you've done and what you've got left to do. So you can see I do all this labeling here, but I rarely see my students do it. Okay, I don't do that because I'm teaching it. I do that because it helps me remember what I've done and what I haven't done. And it's really, really important that you kind of pick up these ideas and use them in your own working out, because they will make a difference. Anyway, take your time with this type of question. There are little shortcuts that you can take advantage of, but you're never going to be able to do it in kind of like one go. It's going to come with a decent number of marks, because there is definitely a decent amount of work that needs to be done. So good luck with these types of questions. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please do subscribe to the channel. Uploading videos all the time. And thank you for watching.